Hello and welcome back to my weekly update on the financial markets. I'm a little bit late, I know. Normally the videos come on the weekend. We are a little bit late. Bad internet connections and a missing PC. I'm recording at the moment with my notebook are the reasons for that. But without further ado, let's start in this update with the SP500 index. Here at S&P 500 index, a lot happened. We are currently violating this weekly uptrend to the downside, and that could be fitting with the MACD divergence on the weekly time frame. Let's drop one time frame lower to daily. You can see the daily was broken, then we had a correction nearly all the way back to this weekly uptrend line, then a new all-time high, but only slightly. I was thinking that a new impulse is starting after seeing a new all-time high, so I went into a long position with 2% of my capital at risk. That went wrong, like you can see, and we are currently breaking this weekly uptrend to the downside, testing this daily 200 moving average in combination with this daily support zone. On my paper trading account and account history, you can see my loss here at the S&P 500, $2,000 loss. Because of that, my equity and account balance is a bit down, but still better than the index since the beginning of my trading journey with this account. Yes, at the moment it's the question, does this hold and we bounce again off to higher highs, or maybe before that into a sideways consolidation, or do we see clear break of this weekly uptrend line, a retest and a break of the retest to the downside? That would mean definitely lower prices, and I would be interested again in trading this area, but this time not short, and instead this time not long, and instead shorting the market. Stop loss probably above this retest and entry below this corrective move, but more to that on my next weekly report on the financial markets. But that's not all for this video. We have still 3 assets left. Let's switch to US oil. Oil at the weekly, we can see this red monthly downtrend line. That one got broken to the upside. Since then we moved inside this weekly correction. We have seen a beautiful triangle formation, broken down to the downside, retest, break lower, not able to make a lower low, then an attempt to break to the upside, failed, and we moved lower again to the lower range here. Drop down to the daily time frame. You can see the white solid downtrend line is intact at the moment, and if we drop even one time frame lower, you can see that we hit this support zone and got directly slightly rejected again to the upside. But I don't want to trade until I see a clean break to the upside, maybe something like this, and then I would be interested in trading this situation if it occurs similar to that. Otherwise, yeah, you can think a continuation of the downtrend could also be likely, but to be honest with you, even if we see a break below this 4-hour support zone and a retest and a break of the retest to the downside, the weekly support zone here is so close. I don't think that you can get a nice trade with that, with a good risk-reward ratio. So I'll probably stay more motivated for long trades if they occur, but for that I definitely need a break of this daily downtrend line and a confirmation from higher highs and higher lows, so a change in trend behavior. That's it for US oil. Let's switch to gold. Gold here at the weekly looks beautiful. We had a hard time breaking this level to the upside, but then we went straight higher afterwards with higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and at least a higher high here. So an intact uptrend. The moment it looks like we could get divergence in the MACD on the weekly, so maybe it's time for a correction. If we drop down to the daily time frame, you can see that the daily white solid uptrend line is still intact and not broken. And you can see my last trade here on gold. I went long after we left behind this support or resistance zone at the time to the upside, and my goal was a nearly 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. I was not getting that completely, because there have been signs on the time frame lower that we could see a correction. Here also MACD crossed at the daily to the downside, which is a bearish sign, or at least a sign for a coming correction. If we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that the secondary daily uptrend got broken to the downside. I already sold after seeing this MACD divergence nearly half of my ongoing trading position, 6 of 13 contracts. That was on my paper trading account. A profit of roughly $1,000. And then I was saying, okay, maybe we bounce back up from here of this secondary daily uptrend line and continue higher into my final take profit. Or if I see a break of this key level here, I will get out of the trade and sell the rest of my position. So 7 of 13 contracts. And yeah, with that I sold my complete long position in gold, and I additionally made $860 on that. So the complete trade was a profit of 1,800 or 1.8% of the accounted balance. It was compensating a bit the loss on the SP500 index. Yeah, and since then we have seen a rejection of the 4-hour 200 moving average, and we went higher all the way back up to retest the broken daily uptrend line. I would expect that we will see another leg down after such a bullish move here, and then we could think afterwards about getting long again if we see that this downtrend changes to an uptrend. The other option is that we directly start rising again. After such a bull trend, nothing here is impossible. But at the moment I don't know how to get in the long trade again if we see directly new all-time highs. But I will inform you if I see an opportunity on my next weekly report as usual. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Next, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin on the weekly time frame looks good, even if we had a couple of days pure bloodbath in Bitcoin. But on the weekly, it's still fine. My top indicator hasn't appeared yet, and I don't think that it was too euphoric for Bitcoin for the end of the 4-year cycle, the final blow-off move. Before then we drop another 80% into the next bear market. Yes, the MACD indicator turned to the bearish side and we have seen a correction, but it was roughly 30%. That's a lot, especially if you bought high. But yeah, we have seen a couple of 30% corrections back in the past, also in bull run scenarios for Bitcoin, where the market had to breathe out before the continuation higher. Let's drop one time frame lower to the daily. Here you can see this white solid daily uptrend line got violated to the downside, but only with some wicks sticking out to the downside, no real major closure below that. And yeah, if you have been thinking about getting cheap back into Bitcoin in an investment case, it could be probably time for you, but make decisions and research always by yourself, like always. Yeah, but for trading, this could also get interesting, because if we get a pro-cyclic sign with a break above this downtrend, a retest, and a break of the retest to the upside, that could be a nice trading opportunity to get a long trade here after getting confirmed that this downtrend is over. I was also saying that in my last weekly report, but I also said, to be fair, that it could be profitable to take a long trade at the $91,000 level without waiting for confirmation. But I also said take it with a small position of your account, so if you lose it, it's fine, because this type of trades have every time more risk, but also often give you a better risk reward ratio, so more profit in the end. This time it hasn't functioned. I wasn't participating in that. I only bought some pieces of Bitcoin for my private investing account, because cheap Bitcoin is the best Bitcoin. And now for my trading, I'm waiting for the confirmation that we see a break, a retest, and a break of the retest to the upside. For a long trade, I keep you updated in my next video. Here you can see with the low, hopefully that's the lowest point of this movement. Then we had a sharp move to the upside on Sunday, probably retail, I guess. Then on Monday, everybody else sold. But we haven't made a lower low. That's good. A lower low could be followed by a higher high, and that would be our confirmation that the downtrend is probably over. Then we need a pullback, a break of the pullback to the upside, and then we can be 90% sure that it's worth trading it to the upside again. That's it for this weekly update. I will rename it to weekly because sometimes I'm not able to make it on the weekend. But yeah, busy. Till then, bye bye, have a good one.